Riding 200 miles on a bicycle to celebrate our 200th mostly DIY related episode doesn't make any sense. I realized that, but neither did making YouTube videos about woodworking for a living, so bear with me.
Are you nervous about starting at midnight?
I don't know. It's getting to the point in the day where I'm not really sure this was a great idea. It's always the way it goes the night before something like this.
My guess is that you read the title of this video and either immediately clicked on it, or were like, that's weird, kept scrolling, and only came back because you had too many questions that needed answers. That's fair. In fact, I'm asking myself some of the same questions. This is the primary reason I'm embarking on this ridiculous journey. Riding a bike is one of the few things on Earth that flips the mundane light switch to the off position, and the uninterrupted thought switch to the on position. I no longer stress about whether we will finish a project on time or if a bill has already been paid. It's my time to disappear into my head and far beyond. Why 200 miles? Well, 200 episodes, of course, and because it seemed like a good idea before today. Either way, finish or not, I'll have plenty of time to explore my thoughts about these 200 episodes we've created.
I just hope the rain, we found out I'm probably gonna get rained on today, so I hope that waits for as long as possible. At least till the sun comes up. That'd be nice. Alright, Joey.
Good luck.
Thanks, sweetie.
Love you.
Love you too.
Be careful.
Okay. As careful as possible. Just sit down. Into the unknown. $12:07. There we go.
As a child, you have these wild dreams that seem so close, yet reality always seems to pull them away from you. The once dream job is squashed by the longing for comfort and predictability. Complacency takes control and life zooms by.
Can't see anything, but it's the first bridge crossing of the evening. It's quite a bit creepier than I expected out here, I'm not gonna lie. It's also quite a bit warmer. I've seen one car. I guess this will be two, but things are going well. It's so freaking hot already. I'll take these off.
6 years ago, Molly and I unknowingly stumbled into a dream job. I say unknowingly because our outlook was always 24 hours from now and the 24 hours after that. Milestone after milestone came, but the focus was always the same. It's hard to stop and smell the roses. As we have matured over the years, we've built a deep appreciation for the now and the future. That's a really important realization. As I look back over the 200 episodes we've created, I see mostly stages of growth, setbacks, but mostly perseverance. These episodes didn't come easy. There were times of frustration with projects or with ourselves. At times we lost that passion that fuels late-night expeditions. Even Mother Nature has greatly challenged our progress. Or how about those rogue waves that take you by surprise as you paddle frantically to get over the top and out of harm's way? Gosh, so many times we didn't make it over the top and went end over end down the face of the wave. The point is, we made it here, and it's important to stop momentarily and acknowledge what the cost and reward has been and to reflect on all the things that have happened. I don't really have a plan for this video other than to explore the past and look into the future. Celebrate the accomplishments, and reminisce. For those who stick around to the end, we have a small token of our appreciation for you, the audience, the ones who made all of this possible. In the early days of Woodbrew, or against the grain as it was in those days, we were just two clueless kids revolting against societal norms. Both enrolled in our local community college, both working mindless jobs, both dreaming of a new life.
Currently 10 miles in and feeling good, strong. First little stop, have to use the restroom.
and we'll get right on the way. Something that up until this very point seemed like hope. The hope that keeps most of us going but also weighs us down. I think the most profound thing about young adulthood is the sudden realization that adults don't have it all together. That money isn't a reflection of what's in your possession, but is a dark cloud that looms ominously overhead, poised to dump rain at the mildest financial hardship. Money is liberating, but when used irresponsibly is a cargo ship-sized anchor. Starting Woodbrew was like slingshotting ourselves through 30 years of adulthood in a matter of a year. All of these life lessons were hurled at us from every direction. If I had to guess why such a large percentage of small businesses failed in the first couple of years, it would be this light-speed education. Starting so early in life made these storms much easier to sail, but why starting a small business has to be the equivalent of circumnavigating the globe still enrages me. But that's a topic for another day. These early days of Woodbrew provided life lessons that will follow us to our rocking chair days. Well, I think it's a little past 3 a.m. My ride time's at about 3 hours, 41 miles in. That's like the 8th police car I've seen. That's the only cars I've seen. Just drove by. They keep looking at me really funny. But, I don't know. I think I feel how I normally would feel at 41, except for I peed an ungodly amount of times, so I think that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
This is like saving my life right now.
Mm-hmm. Chicken salad and pasta.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I have confidence I'm going to make it past 100 at this point, but beyond that is just so unknown. I have no idea.
So, if you think about you're at 41 miles, and if you think if that's like one per episode we've done, that's like you're probably around our 30 videos in 30 days around that time.
I feel very much like our 30 videos day challenge thing.
But then the thing about from then to now,
yeah,
like you got a little while to go.
A long ways to go. Also, I have seen some crazy creatures in the night and heard some horrible sounds.
You're doing great, sweetie.
The memory of Molly and I walking aimlessly through a shopping mall at the moment one of our videos took off into the stratosphere still sits close to the front of my memory queue. Or the time Nathan from Rockler believed in us at such an early stage. One cringy cold email to Nathan about a random project idea with a crude attempt at a pitch, followed by a simple yes, we can make that happen. I believe in what you're doing, and I know you'll go far. At the time, we had just put $600 of our $700 down on a shop to rent, and we were just going for it day in and day out to pay that rent. Sometimes all it takes is a simple nudge by someone you respect to keep the fire going. Don't be the person that pulls the fire alarm and extinguishes someone else's fire. Up until this point, Molly and I had barely seen beyond the state border of Alabama. Our lives and outlooks were narrowed by our lack of experiences. We were in essence caged by the daunting nature of the unknown. Woodbrew, but mostly the community of makers, changed this. We traveled to places we thought we may never see, following the maker community to all the events all over the US. We bought a van and traveled some more. The stark differences between the landscapes and the people we met will forever influence our lives. Make traveling a priority, and you will be better at whatever you do in life. It will expand your archive in ways that can't be described, only felt.
I did not get any sleep. I just ended up staying up. I drank a coffee and I'm about to get another one. But I hope he's okay, and I know he's doing really, really well. But yeah, I think he's crazy for doing this, to be quite honest with you. But I know this video especially means a lot to the both of us, so I think that's kind of keeping him going. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait here until he rolls in the parking lot.
Honestly, this just makes me want to stop.
Okay, Dylan's 100 miles in and he's halfway done. How you feel?
Surprisingly good. I'm still in good hopes that this is actually going to work out, but it's the best I've ever felt at 100 miles, so that's a good thing. I'm staying on top of nutrition. I've had to pee like 14,000 times. Yeah, I think this is where it's going to start getting really rough, and where it's probably going to rain at some point, so.
It's looking pretty clear though.
Yeah, but I just have 3.5 trips down the route that I'm doing, and that's all over with. It's that simple, right?
So like on a scale from 1 to 10, how hard has it been?
So far surprisingly easy, like a lot easier than any other 100 miles I've ever done. I think because like I've been thinking about how I'm not even like a quarter of the way there, instead of thinking that like I'm almost there, like I would if I was doing 100, which I've only done a few times in my life. But it's also demoralizing because like right now at 100, I'd be like kicking back in a coffee shop, eating a big meal, and like just having a good time and feeling good about myself. But like I'm halfway there. Like I have just as much to do.
Alright, so nothing to do.
Nothing to it,
but
not
to
to do it. But nothing to it, but to do it.
There you go.
Wait, say it.
But to get to it.
What?
There's nothing else to do. I don't freaking know.
Nothing to it, but to do it. I think that's it.
Okay. See you later.
After countless hours on this bike and watching many of clouds roll over in and out of the full moon light, I'm realizing now that I haven't thought of a single project that we've done. I guess it's because it's like most things we do in life. The parts that stick with us are usually the parts we never expected to happen. Like the time we first went to California and dropped all of our plans to attempt to climb Mount Whitney, the highest peak in the continental US. Starting a business is much the same as the time we climbed Mount Whitney. I'd never seen snow. I'd never been beyond 3,500 feet of elevation. I'd never. One brick is laid for every single I'd never, until a wall is constructed between you and what excited you moments before. It's simple to stop saying I've never and step over the 6-inch wall before it's too late. But too many people wait until the wall is 6 feet tall, blocking their view, and never do it. We failed to climb Mount Whitney. It would take numerous other attempts and varying weather conditions until we stood on top. Each time we climbed up and failed, we would return with new experiences that would be a guide on the next attempt. When life throws things in your way, regardless if you construct the wall or if someone else built it for you, you have to get the sledgehammer out and keep going.
Mileage. What's your mileage?
Mile 128. Things are declining pretty quickly.
What's wrong?
I just have horrible indigestion, so taking a bunch of Tums, maybe that'll help. I don't really know what the problem is. I've never had this riding a bike, so I mean, physically I'm decent.
It's a little issue.
Yeah, just a little indigestion issue. It's making it really difficult to eat, which is gonna bite me in the butt later, so I'm trying to figure that out.
And it's like 12 o'clock right now?
Yeah, it's hot. It's
Yeah.
very hot. And I want to drink water, but drinking water like makes it hurt. So it's like it's not ideal.
Noises. See ya.
See ya. Admittedly, I have lost my passion for woodworking at times over the years. The ways I've regained that love has almost always been through unexpected exploration of a new form of making. Anything you do repeatedly gets old at some point. Finding ways to mix it up is a surefire way to light that fire again. If you look closely enough at our content, I'm sure you can spot these occurrences throughout the years. Maybe the video style abruptly changes, or we take a hard left turn into a new ambitious project. Is that the best thing for the business or the algorithm? No, it's not. It's something Molly and I discuss at great lengths often, but the end result always naturally goes back to doing things we love. Woodbrew has allowed us the freedom to create and follow multifaceted passions. Don't give up on your dreams because you feel that passion is lost. Remember back to what excited you in the beginning and pivot. Don't be steamrolled by the idea that change will destroy anything you've built. I needed that talk right about now, as I question why in the world I signed up to do this.
46 miles. Just fall over right now.
Time for caffeine.
Yeah, I almost started like involuntarily crying for no random reason.
Stop.
About halfway through that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just like all of a sudden got emotional. It was quite weird.
Because you're tired?
I don't know what it was. It was involuntary. It just happened.
Let me get your chair out.
Yes, please.
I often think about why common normalities exist and what could be the common link we share. Relationships with significant others are funny things that vary wildly, but all come from a shared link of love. If love didn't exist, neither would relationships. Love is a complex word because it's not really representative of a heart-shaped candy or the tingly sensation of meeting someone new. Over the past 200 episodes, mostly in the time that you don't see on YouTube, I've discovered love and all the complexities that exist within it. I'm an observant person. Molly would call it nosy, but I prefer observant. I often observe couples in public who have that semi-awkward, overly compromising, overly nice conversation that is the hallmark of a first date. Recently, while out to dinner, I observed a similar interaction, but this time it was between a married couple with 3 kids. I was dumbstruck, and now certainly leaning into the nosy category. I mentioned this to Molly, and half a steak later, Molly mentioned that they probably have worked all day and have only seen each other for a few hours. Maybe I read the entire situation wrong, or maybe I was spot on. Either way, what Molly said to me was profound. Simple and definitely shined a light on my spotty detective work, but nevertheless profound. I'd never stopped to imagine a world where I only spent a few hours a day with Molly. It's a priceless and severely undervalued part of what Woodbrew has provided. I'm partly ashamed that it took me so long to fully appreciate it. It makes the current pain I feel right now seem fitting punishment. Adventures have 7 parts. Part 1 consists of dreaming and planning and is arguably one of the better moments. Part 2 is the actual start of the adventure, which usually consists of a late night followed by an earlier morning and lots of nerves and searching for escape routes.
I think God seriously just blessed Dylan majorly because I just left the point where I was just at to drive to our next point, which is literally maybe 10 minutes down the road. The roads are soaking wet. Like, it poured here and it was sunny the whole time where we just were.
Part 3 is where things are enjoyable and you say to yourself that getting up was all worth it. Part 4 is the second worst part and is when things get really hard and the thought of bailing floods your mind. Part 5 is the elation of almost being done and where the second wave of energy rockets through every fiber of your body. Everyone always forgets about Part 6. This is when you have a massive energy dump and the roller coaster effect turns into a double black downhill. It can be the descent of a mountain, or in my case, the last 17 miles. The music fades away, my vision narrows to a tiny number on my bike computer, now going in slow motion. The mind does not rest, it flies in every direction, grasping for distraction. I turn around at mile 191.5 and head back to my arbitrary finish line somewhere along the bluff at the top of the hill. My mind locks back into the journey through these 200 episodes. I remember a mean comment someone left on the last video, and it pisses me off. Thanks though, because my watts and speed just increased a little. Then I shake it off and say my usual line to myself, who cares what they have to say, they're probably just mad too. Why don't I think about all of the good comments instead? Why are all of you lovely people who have supported us over the years not getting a front row seat in this conversation? Yeah, why don't you? You all deserve a bigger part of our story than you think. Without you, yeah, you, Woodbrew wouldn't exist. Hell, this entire maker community wouldn't exist. The greatest thing that has ever happened to woodworking as a whole has been this ever-growing, ever-improving community. It's incredible to see the vast spectrum of creators entering and producing content that gets consumed by all of us and influences us in ways that I don't think we fully understand. To everyone that has ever interacted with our content, whether that be viewing, commenting, liking, emailing, purchasing plans, anything, we greatly appreciate you. We don't say that enough.
You did it! What is all over your face?
I sort of smushed a zebra cake down at some
It's
point.
everywhere on the helmet. Everywhere. Oh my gosh, a good job.
Oh gosh. I mean, it was literally just like liquid because it's gotten so hot and I just smushed it in.
Oh my gosh. You just did 200 freaking miles. Are you alive? Ready for pizza?
Just want like,
A shower.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to think right now. I'm like blacking out.
I can tell.
Like literally, everything is just narrowing.
Oh my gosh.
Like the clouds are,
I'm scared.
there's like stuff going everywhere. Part 7 of an adventure is when you get home, or in most cases, on the way home. Spirits are high, you wear your accolades on your sleeve, and you dream of the next adventure. Mile 200 and episode 200 is my part 7, and what a crazy adventure this has been. Now it's time to dream up the next one. Thank you all for coming along with this one. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. As promised, Molly and I have a small token of our appreciation. We're giving away a Festool ETS R125 sander because sanding sucks. So if you want to check the description, you'll get all the details of how to get entered, as well as Bits and Bits provided a 12-piece ultimate router bit set, as well as a couple Festool clamps. Incredible company, incredible products. All the details will be in the description below if you want to win either of those two things. Thank you guys so much for the support over the years. It means an incredible amount. And please leave us a comment down below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.